Kelly here, Kelly Soroka Life, with a ritual today for a ritual of dedication. So this is something that you can use if you want to dedicate any kind of tool that you may be working with spiritually. But today, specifically, I'm going to show you how to do a ritual for a book of shadows. So this, surprisingly, is my book of shadows. I have used other types of books, the very beautiful leather-bound books with the aged papers and things like that, and I just found that it was very tempting to not use the book because I was afraid I was going to mess it up. I was going to write something down and have to scratch it out, and it would just ruin this beautiful book that I have. So instead, I used these, and this one's a moleskin, but I also used the Lectrum, I think it's Lectrum notebooks that are like this as well, and with the pages that have the dots on them, so I can draw on them, write in them, just do whatever. I have little sticky notes in here. I have places where I have just a lot of writing. I have things that I have washi taped in. I have places where I have drawn pictures and things like that. So it's very easy, and I use these Pilot pens, and or not Pilot pens, Pentel pens, and I have different colors, and so it makes my book very colorful, which I like. And so this is just a way that I found I like to journal overall. So I have these kinds of books for different things. Like I have a tarot notebook that's like this, and some are hardbound. I like the hardbound for my Book of Shadows. Some are hardbound, some are softbound, some are small, some are larger, but I like this largest size, usually for any kind of journaling that I do. So this is what I have used for my Book of Shadows, and this has been with me for a while, and I'm actually almost done with it, and so I'll have to break in a new one. And so I'm doing this ritual of dedication so that when I'm ready to break in my new book, then I'll have this ritual already done. So I'll go through it with you and just show you on this book that I already have done. And you can do this with your Book of Shadows or Book of Mirrors or Mirror Book or Grimoire, whatever that you use to write down your spells, to write down your magic, to write down intentions, whatever it is that you like to put in your Book of Shadows. So to first start out the ritual, we're going to open the ritual by I'm using a white candle today because white is all-encompassing. It can bring in, because a Book of Shadows, you never know what you're going to put in it, and so this white candle is going to allow anything that needs to come into this book, into this dedication, to come in. But first, I'm going to use some, and this is some rosemary anointing oil that I made with just rosemary essential oil and almond oil and a little bit of vitamin E in it to preserve it. So I have this, and I'm going to use this and anoint the candle. So this, I'm just going to take a few little drops and to anoint this, going up and then going down. So it's going to go up and up. I'm going to put it in my candle holder and then light the candle. So this is going to open my ritual, and I'm going to let this candle burn out in the end to close out the ritual. So as my candle is burning here, I'll show you the rest of, I'll put it back here so you can see it. Show you the rest of the dedication. So here with this Book of Shadows, so you want to take it and you can put it out on your altar, on your desk, wherever it is that you work with your book, or wherever you want to do this magic ritual. So I'm going to have my intention, and my intention is to dedicate this book to my magic working. So I wrote this dedication that says, I dedicate this book of ritual, magic, and ritual to hold my spells and workings and all things spiritual. So I'm going to say it again and just have my hands on the book. I dedicate this book, magic and ritual, to hold my spells and workings and all things spiritual. I dedicate this book of magic and ritual to hold my spells and workings and all things spiritual. So I've gotten my intention here, and just to make this ritual a little bit deeper, on the book I'm going to place an amethyst. And amethyst is a very great stone to use for any kind of magic work because it opens your intuition, it helps you link to that inner voice, it helps you to hear messages that are coming through. So amethyst is, it's connected to the crown chakra, your higher chakras, and it really helps you to bring in those messages from the divine. And I also have 3 Iolite crystals, and these are a dark blue crystal that, like the amethyst, work with those higher chakras, and this one especially the third eye chakra because it's got that indigo color. And Iolite is it helps open up your intuition as well. It helps with expression, which you want to be able to do in a book of shadows. Helps with visions, and it's also a very calm and clearing stone, which I think is great to use in a dedication for a book of shadows, because you want to be calm and clear when you're doing your magic and when you're writing rituals, or when you're writing down what happened with a magical working. And all of these things can go in your book of shadows, whatever you feel you want to have in your book of shadows. When you're writing intentions, especially, I like to do my new moon intention in my book of shadows, because then I have it there and I can write down anything that I want to do for that lunar cycle, anything I want to include, any stones that I want to work with, and anything about my intention. And then for the next one, and I have a place to write down everything that happened, any things that I did, the things that worked and didn't work, the things that I felt like that I accomplished. And so it's all a place to put all those things. So that amethyst stone and those iolite stones are really good for bringing in all of that intuition, bringing in all of that magic into that place. And so I have my book now, and I have the crystals on it, and I'm going to take just a drop of this anointing oil and put it on the book. And you can do this if you don't feel comfortable doing this with your book. You can definitely just hold it above. Just hold the oil above as you're doing the dedication. But I'm just going to take mine and just make a little dot on it that I can kind of wipe off later or rub into the book. But I want to have that little bit of anointing oil on my book there, just as, and rosemary, the herb, is for remembrance. And so I think that using rosemary is good, because this is somewhere, a book of shadows, that you want to remember things, that you want to write down things that you don't want to forget. So having that little bit of rosemary there, I think is really nice touch to the book. And you can do it any way that you want to. You can do it on an inside page. You can put some dried rosemary in with your book, however you feel like that you want to incorporate that. But I like using that rosemary for remembrance, because this is going to be a book of things that you want to go back to and read over and remember the things that you did in the past. So now I have my book dedicated. I've done the dedication. I've done some, some little extra bits in the ritual to help this make this a special ritual for this dedication. And now I'm just going to give gratitude to the book and give gratitude for all the things that the book is going to bring to me as I work with it, and gratitude for helping me become a better practitioner, a better magician, a better witch, and through this whole process. And so that's it. I've done the ritual, I've done the dedication, I've added the little things in, the special things in that I want to do, and now my book is ready. It's ready to be a companion to me and go with me on this spiritual journey. So I hope you enjoyed this ritual, and if you did, I'll be doing a few more in the next few days, some different rituals, and I also have a ritual of abundance and a ritual for intuition on my channel, and you can go back and look at those. And I also have a link to a downloadable PDF that will show you how to create your own specific rituals for whatever that you want to work on. So the link will be down below, and you can go there and check that out and download that. And I'm going to just with my book of shadows here and my crystals, I'm just going to let my candle burn out and have my book of shadows ready to go. Thanks for watching.